What if I told you that something as small as a pill, one that millions of people take daily, might be slowly sabotaging your memory, your clarity, and even your identity? Not because your brain is broken, but because your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do in the presence of a chemical that doesn't belong. See, your brain isn't just a thinking machine. It's a living, electrical, ever-adapting organ, and it thrives when certain conditions are met. Natural light during the day, deep restful sleep at night, clean fuel from whole foods, and this part is often overlooked, healthy levels of a critical neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is like your brain's messenger system. It helps you focus, form memories, move your muscles, and even regulate your sleep cycles. Without enough of it, you don't just feel foggy, you start to lose access to who you are. Now here's the part almost no one's talking about. There's a class of medications found in common allergy pills, sleep aids, and even some antidepressants that block this exact neurotransmitter. They're called anticholinergic drugs, and research now links long-term use of these pills to a significantly higher risk of dementia, not in the distant future, in your lifetime. That's why this conversation matters, especially if you're over 50, especially if you value your independence, your relationships, your ability to think clearly and stay present. You've probably heard that aging leads to memory loss. But what if some of that decline isn't from age itself? What if it's from what we're putting in our bodies? You may be reaching for that little white pill at night to sleep better, or using it for sinus relief. You may think it's just over the counter, it must be safe. But the truth is, just because it's easy to get doesn't mean it's harmless, especially when it interferes with your brain's natural chemistry. And before you think the only alternative is to suffer through sleepless nights or allergy attacks, don't worry, your body is designed to heal itself, and there are natural ways to restore deep sleep, mental sharpness, and even rebuild brain resilience without those pills. In this video, we're going to uncover the real science behind how these medications affect your brain. I'll walk you through what's happening in your nervous system when you take them, why the risk of cognitive decline increases with age, and what you can do instead, safely and naturally. You'll learn how nutrient timing, targeted herbs, and a few simple evening habits can protect your brain's most vital functions. You'll also discover 2 natural compounds your brain craves as you age, and how to get them in your daily routine. And no, we're not just avoiding the problem. We're giving your body what it actually needs to regenerate. So if you care about sleeping deeper, healing faster, and aging with energy, make sure to watch until the end, and subscribe so you don't miss the natural wisdom your body is craving. Let's begin with something we rarely think about until it starts to slip: memory. Focus. The ability to follow a conversation or remember a name. These aren't just mental functions, they are biochemical events, electrical signals made possible by a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is like the oil in your brain's engine. It keeps thoughts flowing, muscles coordinated, and even supports the formation of new memories. It's involved in the way we wake up, the way we learn, and even how we dream at night. And here's the part that might surprise you. There are medications taken by millions of people every single day that directly block this neurotransmitter. These are called anticholinergic drugs because they block or anti the action of acetylcholine. You'll find them in everyday products like sleep aids, allergy pills, bladder control medications, certain antidepressants, even motion sickness patches. Some are prescriptions, some over the counter. And while they may bring temporary relief from symptoms, they come at a hidden cost, especially to the aging brain. When you take one of these pills, especially regularly, your brain starts to lose access to acetylcholine. And unlike in youth, where the brain might bounce back quickly, the aging brain is more vulnerable to that interference. Over time, reduced acetylcholine leads to slower mental processing, confusion, balance issues, and according to several studies, a significantly higher risk of dementia. One large study published in JAMA Intern Medicine followed nearly 3,500 adults over 7 years. They found that those who used strong anticholinergic medications daily for 3 years or more had a 54% higher risk of developing dementia. And the more cumulative exposure, the greater the risk. Even low doses taken regularly had an effect. But this isn't just about memory loss. This is about understanding that your body is doing what it's supposed to do, just in the wrong environment. When we block neurotransmitters, we're not correcting the root issue, we're quieting the symptoms, often at the expense of long-term health. So what's happening inside your body when you take one of these pills? First, the drug crosses the blood-brain barrier, the protective shield around your brain. Once inside, it binds to acetylcholine receptors, especially in areas of the brain involved in memory, like the hippocampus. This prevents acetylcholine from sending its usual signals. Over time, the system becomes sluggish. New memory formation becomes harder. Spatial awareness declines. You may feel groggier, more forgetful, or just off, especially in the morning. And here's the key point. This isn't age, this is interference. Now, to be clear, there are moments when short-term use of these medications may be appropriate, but the problem is when they become part of a nightly routine. When we use them to cover up what the body is trying to communicate. Your brain doesn't need to be sedated to rest. It needs the right support to shift into its natural sleep state. So what can you do instead? First, identify the source. Check the labels of any medications or supplements you take regularly. Look for ingredients like diphenhydramine, doxylamine, amitriptyline, oxybutynin, or scopolamine. These are strong anticholinergics. Next, begin to gently wean off with the guidance of your doctor if these have become routine and aren't medically essential. This isn't about going cold turkey. It's about understanding the trade-offs and reclaiming your brain health. Then, nourish the pathway. Acetylcholine is made from choline, a nutrient found in foods like eggs, especially the yolks, beef liver, wild-caught fish, and Brussels sprouts. Start adding these into your meals, especially in the morning, when neurotransmitter production is naturally higher. Your brain needs raw materials, just like a garden needs water and sunlight. Finally, support your sleep naturally. Create an evening routine that tells your brain it's time to rest, dim lights, herbal tea, a warm bath, or gentle stretching. These are cues your body understands. You don't need to fight your body, just understand it. If this is helping you see health differently, tap the like button. It helps us reach more people who need this. And subscribe if you're learning something new, because there's more natural healing wisdom to come. Let's talk about sleep. Not the kind that comes from a pill, but the kind your body is built to produce on its own. Most people think melatonin is something you take, a capsule, a gummy, something to help you drift off. But melatonin isn't a drug, it's a hormone, and your brain makes it beautifully. Every evening when the conditions are right, melatonin is produced in a tiny gland deep inside your brain called the pineal gland. As daylight fades and your eyes receive less blue light, the pineal gland begins converting serotonin into melatonin. This process is incredibly elegant. It lowers your body temperature, slows down your nervous system, and gently ushers you into deep, healing sleep. But here's where things get off track. When we flood our evening environment with artificial light, stress, stimulants, and screens, we disrupt that signal. Your body doesn't know it's nighttime anymore. The pineal gland gets confused, and melatonin production drops. Not because your body is broken, but because it's not getting the message. Now imagine layering on top of that a sleep aid containing an anticholinergic drug like diphenhydramine. You might feel sedated, but sedation is not sleep. True sleep is cyclical, rhythmic, and filled with repair. It involves a symphony of neurotransmitters, hormonal shifts, and cellular detox. Sleep drugs don't mimic that. They suppress certain brainwave patterns while leaving others incomplete. They fragment the architecture of sleep, especially REM and deep sleep, the phases where your brain consolidates memory, restores mood, and clears out metabolic waste. And here's the key connection. When you blunt melatonin naturally or synthetically, you reduce your brain's ability to detoxify. There's a system in your brain called the glymphatic system. It's only active at night and only during deep sleep. Think of it like your brain's cleaning crew. It flushes out beta amyloid and tau proteins, compounds that are heavily implicated in Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. If you interfere with the depth or timing of sleep, you impair that cleansing process. Night after night, the waste builds up, and you may not feel it right away, but over years it adds up. This is why sleep quality, not just quantity, is so essential for aging well. So what can you do? First, trust that your body wants to sleep. It's not your enemy. It may just be out of rhythm. And rhythm is something we can restore. Start by protecting your evenings. About 90 minutes before bed, dim the lights in your home. Turn off overhead lighting and use warmer amber tone lamps or salt lights. If you're using screens, wear blue light blocking glasses, or better yet, step away from screens entirely. Second, set a consistent sleep-wake cycle. Your pineal gland responds to patterns. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Over time, this trains your brain to release melatonin naturally and predictably. Third, avoid food late at night. Digesting food close to bedtime raises your core temperature and increases insulin, both of which interfere with melatonin production. Ideally, finish your last meal 3-4 hours before bed. If you need something, try a small serving of magnesium-rich pumpkin seeds or herbal tea with lemon balm, gentle calming choices that support your nervous system. And finally, give yourself wind down time. We live in a go-go-go culture, but your body needs space to downshift. Try a hot bath with Epsom salts, light stretching, reading, or soft music. These are signals, just like darkness, that tell your brain it's time to release melatonin and restore. You don't need to force sleep. You just need to stop blocking the natural cues. If this feels like a fresh way to think about rest and healing, hit the like button. It helps us share this message with more people seeking natural answers. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future content on how to help your body age wisely, sleep deeply, and heal fully. What if I told you that your brain has a self-cleaning system, one that only turns on when you're deeply asleep? It's called the glymphatic system, and it's one of the most profound discoveries in modern neuroscience. Think of it as the brain's overnight housekeeping crew. Its job is to flush out waste, toxins, and metabolic byproducts that build up from a full day of thinking, moving, eating, and living. During waking hours, your brain is busy. It's processing information, managing movement, filtering sensations, solving problems. That level of activity produces byproducts, just like exercise produces lactic acid, or digestion creates waste in the gut. And just like your muscles need recovery, your brain needs cleansing. But here's the fascinating part. This cleansing only happens when you sleep. More specifically, during deep non-REM sleep, the phase that many of us lose as we age or when we rely on sedative sleep aids. Research from the University of Rochester found that during deep sleep, the spaces between your brain cells expand by up to 60%. This allows cerebrospinal fluid to flow more freely, washing through the brain tissue and clearing out debris, especially beta amyloid, a protein associated with Alzheimer's when it accumulates. Now, when you take medications that alter your sleep architecture, especially anticholinergic drugs or synthetic melatonin, they might make you feel sleepy, but they don't support deep restorative sleep. Instead, they often reduce REM and slow-wave sleep, the exact phases needed for this glymphatic system to do its work. So every time we bypass the body's natural rhythm with sedatives or blockers, we're not just missing rest, we're missing a nightly brain detox. Over time, this can contribute to brain fog, memory problems, emotional imbalance, and even neurodegenerative changes. But there's good news. Your glymphatic system is highly responsive. It doesn't require fancy devices or expensive supplements. It just needs the right conditions. Here's what you can do to naturally activate this detox system. First, optimize your sleep position. Sleeping on your side, especially your left, has been shown to enhance glymphatic flow compared to sleeping on your back or stomach. It's a small shift, but over time it can make a big difference. Second, support your body's natural cooling process. Your core temperature needs to drop slightly for deep sleep to occur. Keep your bedroom cool, ideally around 65 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. A warm bath about an hour before bed can actually help this because it draws heat to the surface of the skin and allows your core to cool afterward, promoting deeper sleep onset. Third, avoid alcohol and heavy meals before bed. Both impair deep sleep and interfere with glymphatic activation. If you drink, try to give your body at least 3 hours before sleeping, and keep late meals light and rich in calming nutrients like tryptophan and magnesium. Finally, keep a regular sleep schedule. Irregular bedtimes can confuse your circadian rhythm, leading to shallower, more fragmented sleep. Over time, this disrupts glymphatic function and contributes to chronic low-level brain inflammation. You don't need to biohack your way to brain health. You just need to understand what your body is already trying to do and stop getting in its way. Deep sleep is not a luxury, it's one of your most powerful healing tools, and it becomes more important with age, not less. So instead of reaching for a pill, ask, what is my body asking for tonight? Stillness? Darkness? A little space from screens or stimulation? Often the answer is simpler than we think. If this is giving you insight into how your brain truly heals, tap the like button and share this with someone you care about. And subscribe, because next we'll explore how nutrition directly fuels your brain's chemical messengers, so you can wake up clear, calm, and focused. Let's go deeper into how your brain makes the chemicals it needs to function, specifically acetylcholine. We've talked about how certain medications block this vital neurotransmitter, but what you may not know is that your body is fully capable of making acetylcholine if you give it the right building blocks. And one of the most important is a nutrient called choline. Choline is an essential compound your body uses to make acetylcholine. It's like a raw ingredient in a recipe. Without it, you simply can't make the neurotransmitter that helps you focus, recall information, and move your body smoothly. It also plays a key role in maintaining the structural integrity of your brain cells, specifically the membranes that protect and insulate them. Here's the problem. Most people, especially older adults, aren't getting nearly enough choline from their diet. The National Institutes of Health estimates that up to 90% of Americans fall short. And as we age, our need for choline actually increases, just as our natural production of acetylcholine starts to decline. So if your memory feels a little foggier, if your thinking feels slower, if you're waking up tired even after sleep, low choline and low acetylcholine may be part of the puzzle. Now the good news is that choline isn't rare. It's abundant in real whole foods, especially foods that older generations were once encouraged to avoid. Think egg yolks, beef liver, wild-caught salmon, and Brussels sprouts. These are not trendy health foods, but they are deeply nourishing and uniquely suited to support brain health. Let's take eggs for example. Just one pasture-raised egg yolk provides about 150 milligrams of choline. That's nearly 30% of the daily requirement for older adults. And when you combine that with other sources like cruciferous vegetables, grass-fed meats, or even small servings of liver, you can easily meet your needs without supplements. But it's not just about eating choline-rich foods randomly. Timing matters. Eating a choline-rich breakfast, especially within a few hours of waking, can give your brain the substrate it needs to produce acetylcholine early in the day. This supports sharper thinking, more focused movement, and even better coordination throughout your morning. If you practice intermittent fasting, consider breaking your fast with a combination of choline and healthy fats like eggs cooked in grass-fed butter or wild salmon with avocado. Fats help absorb choline more efficiently, and they also fuel your mitochondria, the energy centers of your cells, including brain cells. And here's another insight. B vitamins, especially B6, B12, and folate, work synergistically with choline to support what's called methylation, an essential biochemical process for maintaining cognitive clarity, mood balance, and DNA repair. If your brain feels inflamed, stuck, or low on energy, you may not be missing motivation, you might be missing nutrients. So a powerful protocol for supporting memory and cognitive energy naturally would look like this. Eat 2 pasture-raised eggs each morning, or most mornings. Pair them with a handful of leafy greens sautéed in olive oil or grass-fed butter. Once or twice a week, consider a small serving of grass-fed liver, or look into desiccated liver capsules if you prefer. Add in B vitamin-rich foods like nutritional yeast, asparagus, and high-quality meat. And stay hydrated, because neurotransmitter activity also depends on proper fluid balance and electrolyte function. The more you understand what your brain is asking for, the more you'll realize it's not forgetting how to function, it's just running low on supplies. You don't need to force focus or medicate memory, you simply need to restore what's missing. If this is helping you connect the dots between food and brain function, like this video, and share it with someone navigating brain fog or fatigue, and subscribe, because next we'll look at one of the biggest modern disruptors of sleep and mental clarity and how to reverse it naturally. Sometimes what's keeping your brain foggy, your sleep shallow, or your mood unstable isn't a deficiency in effort, it's a disruption in rhythm. And two of the most powerful disruptors today are blue light and blood sugar instability. You might not feel them directly, but your nervous system does. Let's start with light. Your body runs on an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. It's like a 24-hour biological schedule that regulates everything from hormone production and sleep cycles to digestion and immune function. One of the most important hormones it governs is melatonin, your body's natural signal that it's time to rest, repair, and shut down for the night. Now here's what happens in a modern environment. We're exposed to high levels of blue light, especially from LED screens, tablets, phones, and even some indoor lighting, well into the evening. Blue light wavelengths are interpreted by your brain as daylight. So when you're watching TV or scrolling before bed, your brain still thinks it's noon. That delays melatonin production. It keeps cortisol, the alert hormone, elevated. And it tells your body, stay awake, don't repair, not yet. Night after night, this confusion builds up. Sleep becomes lighter. Dream cycles shorten. You may fall asleep exhausted but wake up unrefreshed. Over time, this weakens your brain's detox cycle and diminishes the very hormones that protect cognitive function as you age. And then there's blood sugar. When you eat late at night, especially carbohydrates or sweets, you spike blood glucose. This creates a roller coaster of insulin release, followed by a crash a few hours later. That crash is often what causes you to wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., heart racing, or thoughts spinning. It's not anxiety, it's a stress response to hypoglycemia. Your liver is trying to stabilize blood sugar by releasing stored glycogen, but that comes with a cortisol spike, pulling you out of deep sleep. This cycle puts your nervous system on high alert when it should be in deep repair. It also reduces growth hormone release, which is essential for muscle recovery, brain regeneration, and healthy metabolism. Here's what you can do to break this cycle, gently, naturally, and without depriving yourself. First, protect your evenings from blue light. About 90 minutes before bed, reduce screen exposure. Use amber or red lighting where possible. Blue light blocking glasses can help if you must be on devices, but the ideal is to reconnect with your body's real evening cues. Soft lighting, conversation, quiet. Let dusk feel like dusk. Second, front load your carbohydrates earlier in the day, especially if you're insulin sensitive or prone to waking in the middle of the night. Save your dinner for proteins, healthy fats, and non-starchy vegetables. These stabilize blood sugar and help regulate neurotransmitter production without triggering insulin spikes. Third, try a magnesium-rich evening snack if you find yourself needing something before bed. Pumpkin seeds, chamomile tea with a splash of coconut milk, or a few slices of avocado with sea salt can provide calm without dysregulation. And don't underestimate the power of a consistent meal and sleep schedule. Even small fluctuations, like staying up an hour later on weekends or snacking after dinner, can desynchronize your internal clock. Your brain loves rhythm, it needs routine, and the more consistent you become, the more your body rewards you with deep, uninterrupted sleep and clearer thinking during the day. This isn't about perfection, it's about creating conditions your brain understands. You don't need to drug your body into silence, you need to remind it how to sleep. If this insight is helping you reframe your evening habits, like this video and share it with someone who's been struggling to rest. And subscribe, because in our next section, we'll explore the healing power of specific herbs and adaptogens that restore calm, memory, and sleep without blocking your brain's natural chemistry. If you've ever wished for something to calm your mind, help you sleep, or sharpen your memory, but without side effects or long-term risks, there's good news. Nature already provides that support. Unlike synthetic drugs that block or override your brain chemistry, certain adaptogens and herbal allies work with your nervous system. They don't force changes. They nudge your body back toward balance. That's what makes them so powerful, especially for aging brains that need restoration, not suppression. One of the most studied is Bacopa monnieri, a small aquatic plant used in Ayurvedic medicine for thousands of years. Research shows that Bacopa enhances memory, attention, and learning by supporting acetylcholine signaling and increasing blood flow to the brain. But it doesn't do this by overstimulating you. Instead, it works gradually, improving synaptic communication over time, while also reducing anxiety and oxidative stress. That dual action, boosting cognitive performance while calming the nervous system, is rare. And it's one reason Bacopa is ideal for older adults or anyone seeking gentle, sustainable mental clarity. Then there's lion's mane mushroom, another remarkable compound. It's not a stimulant. In fact, you might not feel anything dramatic right away. But inside your body, lion's mane is encouraging the production of nerve growth factor, NGF, a protein your brain uses to regenerate neurons and protect existing ones from degeneration. Studies show it can improve cognitive function, reduce mild symptoms of anxiety and depression, and even support recovery from neurological injury. In traditional Chinese and Japanese medicine, lion's mane has been used to support not just the brain but the gut and immune system too, reminding us that true healing is always holistic. Now let's talk about valerian root and passion flower, two herbs that support sleep without interfering with acetylcholine. Unlike antihistamine-based sleep aids, these herbs don't blunt neurotransmission. Instead, they enhance the activity of GABA, your brain's primary calming chemical that allows your body to shift into rest mode without creating dependency or grogginess the next day. Valerian has been shown in studies to improve sleep latency, how quickly you fall asleep, as well as sleep quality. Passion flower, meanwhile, can calm a racing mind and reduce cortisol, making it especially helpful when anxiety is keeping you from winding down. You can take these herbs in teas, tinctures, or encapsulated formulas. But as with all plant-based support, consistency is key. They work gently over time. The goal is not sedation. The goal is regulation, helping your nervous system remember its natural rhythm. And here's what's beautiful. The more you support your body naturally, the less you need to rely on external crutches. Over time, the brain begins to trust its own cues again. Sleep deepens, memory sharpens. You start to wake up feeling like yourself, not drugged, not dulled, but truly restored. If you're building a natural protocol, consider this. Start your day with lion's mane, perhaps in your coffee or tea. Midday, use Bacopa in capsule or extract form to support cognition and attention. In the evening, create a ritual, valerian tea with passion flower, dim lights, a book instead of a screen. You're not medicating your body, you're honoring its cycle. And always remember, no herb or supplement can replace the basics. Your sleep environment, your food choices, your exposure to light and movement, these form the foundation. The herbs simply support the structure you're building. You don't need to fear memory loss or sleeplessness. Your body is incredibly wise, and with the right tools, it will show you just how well it can heal. If this helped you see plant medicine in a new light, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe because next we'll wrap everything together with a natural health challenge and a daily rhythm to help you age with clarity, energy, and purpose. Here is the conclusion. So let's take a step back and look at the story your body has been trying to tell you. If you've ever reached for a pill to sleep, to quiet anxiety, or to find relief from allergies or discomfort, you are responding to something real. Fatigue, tension, fogginess. These are not signs of weakness, they're signals, and your body, even in its discomfort, is communicating. What we've uncovered here is that many of the substances we reach for, particularly those with anticholinergic properties, don't solve the root problem. They mute the signals. They block acetylcholine, disrupt melatonin, and interfere with the deep sleep phases where your brain repairs, regenerates, and renews itself. And for aging adults, these disruptions carry a cost because your brain is not just holding your memories, it's holding your essence, your presence, your clarity, your sense of self. The good news is this: decline is not inevitable. The brain is remarkably resilient, especially when you stop interfering and start supporting. The moment you begin to nourish the right pathways, remove the blocks, and give your body the cues it understands, healing begins. Not because you're forcing it, but because your body is designed to heal itself. We've seen how sleep isn't just rest, it's active brain cleansing, made possible by the glymphatic system. We've explored how choline-rich foods, B vitamins, and natural fats give your brain the raw materials to build focus and memory. We've learned how light and blood sugar shape your sleep hormones more powerfully than most realize, and we've looked at how adaptogens like Bacopa, lion's mane, and valerian root can gently restore calm and cognition without creating dependence. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. So here's your challenge. Start with a 24-hour reset, a simple natural rhythm to signal to your body, we're getting back in sync. Tomorrow, try this morning. Wake up with the sun. If you can, step outside within 30 minutes of waking. Let natural light hit your eyes, no sunglasses, no screens. This jumpstarts your circadian rhythm and tells your brain to start making serotonin, the precursor to melatonin. Have a choline-rich breakfast, 2 pasture-raised eggs, some leafy greens sautéed in olive oil, maybe half an avocado. Sip warm water with lemon to hydrate and flush your system. Midday, move your body. A walk, a stretch, even light housework helps regulate blood sugar and neurotransmitters. If you're supplementing, this is a great time for Bacopa or lion's mane to support mental clarity. Keep meals balanced, protein, fiber, healthy fats to avoid mid-afternoon crashes. Evening, finish your last meal 3 to 4 hours before bed. Keep it light and clean. Non-starchy vegetables and healthy fats are ideal. Turn off bright lights and screens 90 minutes before bed. Brew a calming herbal tea, valerian, lemon balm, or passion flower. Do something analog, read, journal, listen to soft music. Let your body know the day is closing. Sleep. Aim for 7.5 to 9 hours in a cool, dark room. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask if needed. Sleep on your side if comfortable. Trust that while you rest, your brain is doing some of its most important work, cleaning, rewiring, and protecting your future. Try this rhythm for just one day, then stretch it into a week. Soon it becomes a lifestyle, not a restriction, but a return to how your body was always meant to function. You don't need to be afraid of aging. You need to understand it. Your brain is not fragile, it's adaptable. Your sleep is not broken, it's waiting to be reset. And your clarity, your energy, your vitality are not gone. They're simply buried beneath habits and substances that block the healing your body knows how to do. If you found this helpful, let us know in the comments. What will you try first? And don't forget to subscribe and join this journey of natural healing and healthy aging. Your body is ready. You just need to give it what it needs.